Uh, we'll just wait for a few people to get in here for a minute, and we will get started. I do have a guest in here tonight, and we will be interviewing one of the greatest teams here in North Carolina, because you can't beat North Carolina. That's just my opinion. Uh, let's see. Let me get my phone to work here with me. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Winter Homestead. How you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. Been a little while. You come in at a good time, because we have an amazing guest in the background. I'm gonna bring him up here in a few minutes. Hey, May, how you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. Me and my dad will be going out this coming Friday for doing a little paranormal stuff ourselves. We're going to probably either go to the woods, or maybe go over into that cornfield back to the edge of the woods and do a little something over there. But we will see, according on if the weather, how the weather pans out for us. So next weekend, next Sunday, I do have another guest. I believe I can't find my paper off. Can't find my paper right this moment, but I will post it. Hey, Auntie Mama, how you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. Tonight we do have a very, very special guest, and from Great State Paranormal. I've met him at the clinic one time, and it was really, really cool meeting everybody there when we went to the Parafest a few years back. I didn't get to go this year because I had to work, but so next year, or if I get to do it again, I probably will end up going. But we're going to find out about his team, about him, how he got started, just a basic interview, and things like that, and find out some experiences and things he does and upcoming events he's got going on and all this. And we'll get right on in there. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Appreciate you coming in, bud. So let's get going. So we will be taking a few questions from the chat and everything, and find out a little bit about the demonology stuff. I don't know anything much about that. Just little basic stuff will be interesting to me, and we'll just find out and we'll see what we got going on. So everybody, please welcome Dustin from Great State Paranormal, and give him a good welcome, and let's have some fun. Hey, bud, how you doing?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on, Jonathan. It's a pleasure.
Oh man, it's awesome to have you here with me. So, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into the paranormal.
So it's a very fun story, or at least it should be. So I started off as a minister. I got my degree from Belmont Abbey College in theology, and I worked as a pastor for a while. And from there, I started studying a little bit into demonology and exorcism, because one of my classmates was an exorcist. And everything just kind of snowballed from there, to be honest. Eventually, I quit working for the church because I don't know if anyone has worked as a minister, but it's rough. So, after leaving the corporate church, going through and seeing how I could still help spirits in need, and if there's something that's really dark, there's got to be something that's really good.
Yeah.
And fast forward 15-ish years, and here I am today.
Okay. Did you have any type of experience to get you into the paranormal?
Um, a little bit on some of the exorcism cases I would work on,
Yeah.
but pretty much, I always enjoyed going every ghost tour I could take. Um, I think probably like everyone, especially everyone in my generation,
Mhm.
I lived off of Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Um, I distinctly remember one time when I was little, apparently, because I don't remember this, I stayed up all night watching a Scooby Doo marathon. And when my parents woke up at like 4 a.m. or something, and they're like, "Why are you still up?" I'm like, "It's Scooby Doo. It's a marathon." But why are you still up watching it? Because it's a marathon. You can't stop a marathon.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I was like 6 or 7, but
Okay.
uh, so always kind of been into this kind of area,
Yeah.
and so then getting more into the paranormal and uh, capturing EVPs and using dowsing rods and all the light up everythings, and then also really just helping people.
Yeah.
Um, because if it was all the other things, it'd be a really fun like little hobby.
Yeah.
But honestly, just helping people and clients, that's really what's kind of shaped my worldview within the paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mass Fashion. How you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Hey, Samantha. How you doing? Appreciate you coming in. Uh, I've been watching a few things that you did on Facebook there. Tell us a little bit about what you was doing when you were sitting there playing blackjack with the spirits with the K2s and stuff there. That was
So
very interesting.
that was fun. Um, and it just goes to show, try something, innovate. Eh, You're going to sit there in the dark no matter what,
Yeah.
right? Um, so what we were up in a speakeasy. The location was Harper House in Hickory, North Carolina. Because again, North Carolina, we have all the best places.
Yeah. You do.
Um, but the attic top floor was a speakeasy during Prohibition because, again, uh, we like to drink in North Carolina, and we don't like the federal government in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And when we can stick it to the man and get drunk, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So, um, we had just some K2 meters set up, and we had people just playing blackjack just to see if they could trigger anything, and we would notice the different K2 meters are spiking at certain points.
Yeah.
And so we asked the spirits, hey, if you want to play, give me a red spike to hit, and um, don't spike it or make it go to like that first little green if
Yeah.
you want to stay. And then we got out some mini bottles of, like gin and bourbon,
Yeah.
stuff they would have drank mainly back in Prohibition, and moonshine because uh, a lot of us are from Wilkes County, and if you know anything about Wilkes County,
Yeah.
we like our moonshine.
Yeah.
So, and they were sitting there playing blackjack, and they would get mad if they would lose. Like the K2 would spike all the way to red for like 5 or 10 seconds if they would lose a hand or if they would bust. Um, yeah, just unique. It's really awesome, and they've done it every time since then that we've gone back to that location.
Yeah.
Haven't tried it anywhere else because we haven't been anywhere else where they would like to play cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, just fascinating.
That was really interesting. I watched it like twice because I thought, now this is pretty awesome right here. This this was a good idea. Trying to interact with things. That's really cool. So, how long have you been doing the paranormal? How old is your team and stuff?
I have been doing it for I think 17-ish years. Um, Although, and I was talking to a friend of mine. I don't know if you're familiar with John Michael.
I've heard of.
He is a great guy, maybe a good guest to have on. He's a skeptic, so
Yeah,
he is really big into critical thinking and demonstrating empathy to the living and the dead.
yeah,
But he's like, I hate when everyone's like, "Oh, I've been in this field through this many years," because let's be honest, we don't get that many cases a year.
yeah,
But I've had my own team since late 2019, so really, I'll say I've had 5 years of very legit experience where it is constant.
yeah.
And I had 12 years of here and there, still active, still doing stuff, but not nearly as active as I have been over the last uh, 5 or so years.
That's really cool right there. Where all have you investigated at?
Um, so I used to work for a national ghost hunting company that was unethical and closed. And part of that had sent me to a lot of really cool places.
Cool.
And then on top of that, I have traveled quite a bit as well. So I've been to Gettysburg. I've been to the Conjuring House in Rhode Island, which hopefully is going to be operational again soon.
Yeah,
Um, the Lizzie Borden House, the Crescent Hotel. If it's a place in North Carolina, South Carolina, I've been there.
yeah,
St. Albans. Um, I'm sure I'm forgetting places,
yeah.
especially some of the smaller ones. But more or less, if it's one of the bigger hotspots on the East Coast, I've probably been to it.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you do anything like cemeteries, or it's just a hit or miss, or anything, or what do you prefer to investigate?
Some of my favorites, for one, love to investigate a bar.
Yeah,
You know, um, don't condone drinking while on the job,
yeah,
but when you clock out, if you will, who knows? Maybe you have a cocktail or two.
oh yeah,
Um, but then theaters have always been really active, like live performance theaters, not cinemas.
yeah,
And I've been called in for a few churches. Those are always kind of wild.
yeah. So I know you mentioned earlier that like doing private locations helping people. To me, that is a big plus. Because there's a lot of people out there that does need help trying to get what answers why they're there in their house and stuff like that. So, um, do you like doing that type of?
Yes, I absolutely love private cases. Um, I believe this year we've taken on 3 cases. Um, I would typically take on more throughout the year, but this year has been a almost like a rebuilding phase for Great State Paranormal after some internal issues,
Yeah,
which you and I kind of briefly talked about before the show.
yeah,
So I kind of had to get people kind of rebuilt and trained up. So we couldn't really take on many private cases until about July or so. Um, but with that being said, we've had 3 this year. I think we had about 4 private cases last year. And for me, one of the most heartwarming parts is in most of the private cases that we take on, the
yeah,
haunting is typically grandma's spirit or some other relative or an ancestor, and
Mm.
they're just there to watch over people. They're making sure that everyone stays safe, and that's just really, really heartwarming. Uh, we've had a few bad ones too,
Yeah.
of course. Um, People don't research and find a demonologist and an exorcist for all the fun spirits.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just that really gives me a good passion for the paranormal and being able to help people in their daily lives,
Yeah.
whether that's removing something negative or helping them communicate with a loved one again, or just giving them the tools to be able to tap into the other side and maybe say like, hey, knock it off. It's 9:15. I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I can't go to bed if you are flashing my lights on and off.
Yeah.
So, uh, just really all of the fun times where you really get to meet people, person to person, and really make those human connections,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny to say since we do the paranormal.
Yeah.
Uh, but as much as we help the spirits, we also help the people.
Yeah. That's very cool. I really glad to see some other paranormal groups that does the same thing. Abyss Paranormal here, they do a lot of private locations, help people out too. So that's a big plus. I really enjoy hearing that, because we do some, but we don't get to do a lot because we're not out there established that good yet. But we have done a few, and it's just so cool to get to go and see different places and meet a lot of different people and stuff like that. Have you ever met any interesting people when you're doing paranormal?
Yes. Um, to put it mildly, yes. Uh, I can't share too many of those stories without breaking like client confidentiality,
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
but I'll just say yes. Um,
Yeah. Um, let's see. If I'm about out of questions, so we'll start taking questions from our chat in a few minutes. Let's see. What if you was to be going down the road and you see a haunted house, or you think it'd be a haunted house, and you got your equipment with you, and you just reach in the back seat of your vehicle and not looking, just grab something other? What would you hope that you would have grabbed out of your bag?
it's a good question. Uh, for me, probably dowsing rods. Those are some of my favorite pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
Um, Outside of that, maybe my Phasma box, which, if your viewers may not be familiar, it's a Windows computer based spirit box that removes a lot of that
Yeah.
static noise and adds some reverb and echo to make things easier to hear. Definitely not great, but easier.
Yeah.
So
We
those would probably be my top two if I had to hope and pray that's what I grabbed.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good answer because we can use our Phasma box, and I really enjoy that.
Yep. I'm also, due to some of the things I practice within my spirituality,
Yeah.
I'm also a little bit of a medium. So I can also sometimes just walk into places and have those emotions and feelings. Recently, I was in Gettysburg with the Paranormal Research Symposium that's put on by the Association of Paranormal Studies
Yeah.
with Alex Matsuo and her group. And I had never been to Gettysburg, so it's kind of cool. The first time I'm there is for like this, like research driven, very scholarly paranormal group.
Yeah.
Which, if anyone gets the chance, uh, I'd highly recommend going to something like that because it's not so much focused on celebrities and who's been on this show. It's on what research have you done. Let's look at your data and your facts and talk about new theories. It's lovely.
Yeah.
But the team member I brought with me, because I'm not driving to Gettysburg by myself, that's a long drive from here. She's like, "Oh, we're gonna definitely go and look at the field." And I have my master's in teach history, so I'm like, "Fuck yeah, we are." Or sorry,
Oh, you're fine.
yeah, we are. Uh, like, yeah, I'm not coming to Gettysburg and not gonna go see some of the battlefield. Oh, it was awesome and terrible all at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting shot like the whole time. At one point, I had the sensation that my leg had been blown off by a cannonball, and like from the knee down, it's if you've ever had like a cavity and your face gets numbed and you can like touch it, but you can't feel it, but you know you're like poking it.
Yeah.
That's how my leg felt from the knee down for like a solid 10, 15 minutes. And as soon as we walked away from that one section of the battlefield, just like nothing had ever happened.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. Um, it was cool. It was wild. Uh, Sometimes I wish stuff like that didn't happen as often, but you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. Like I said, this question is based on about how did it feel to, I mean, what's it like to have your own group, your own team, and stuff like that?
There is to me, there's a heavy burden that comes with running your own team. For one, you got to keep people engaged because throughout the year, you know, you can have a lot of stuff to do, but maybe people can't go to everything.
Yeah.
But then there's also a training and development aspect. Um,
Jason.
I'm really big on growth.
Yeah.
So investing into my team members as much as I can. And my team's pretty spread throughout Western North Carolina. We've got people in uh, the Kernersville area, Winston. I'm located in Elkin. I've got someone in Asheville. So we are really all. I've got apprentices in Raleigh. So again, we're just all spread out,
Yeah.
and that's really good for a lot of things. But it's also hard to really invest into my people because you know I can't exactly say, "Hey, everyone, come over to my house on Sunday, and we're gonna talk about this new theory, or we're gonna work on this equipment," or
Yeah.
like it's just not practical.
Yeah.
Um, and then also knowing that I'm kind of the caretaker of my people when we go into these places, whether it's a ghost hunt or a private case.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how much information can we find out about some of these people before we go in? Um, is this a safe place? My apprentices that I have, one is 15, the other is 16, 17. I'm
Yeah.
sure she'll see this and correct me. I know they're both under 18, and I found out that, or was reminded that the younger one's 15 at a recent festival we were at. So, and you don't want to take people, you don't want to take minors if they're that young just into anywhere. I've got a lot of women on my team. Um, I've got members of the LGBTQ community, and you just really need to make sure that everything is safe
Yeah.
for all of the people.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Um, we just had see, I just started my group when the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm.
Our first investigation was the Trivet Clinic, and after that, everything shut down. So we didn't get started back until late that year and first the following year. So it is a big struggle to own your own team because I am the owner of Crossover,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad, me and him talked, and it took me almost 4 or 5 years to come this far to start my own team and stuff like that. And So now we're pretty much what I say family based. I got my cousin, my aunt, my dad, and then we got four other people that's not kin to me, but they act like they're kin to me. You know,
I do. Yep.
it's all cool. It's all cool. And you can ask me 10 years ago where would I have been at? I would said I would never done paranormal, but now look at me. I'm doing something that I like to do. You know, it's fun.
And and I think another aspect of running your own team, not only do you have the responsibility for your people, but we carry the weight of the responsibility of the paranormal community to the broader community.
Yeah,
Because what we do and what we say is a direct reflection of our community.
yeah,
So if we go in to a museum for the first time, or a historical location, or we hold a festival, or we're a guest at a convention, people that have never interacted with a paranormal investigator, you are to them the paranormal community now,
yeah,
good, bad, or indifferent. And that's why when you see a lot of people who think that we should do a lot of provoking and stuff like that, well, they watch Ghost Adventures. And I'm not going to sit here and hate on Ghost Adventures and Zach Bagans.
yeah,
I can.
yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan personally,
yeah,
but that's a lot of people's entry point to the community.
yeah,
And so, therefore, a lot of people think that's how it is. And that's not always the case.
yeah,
So, being able to be that good, ethical, responsible investigator, not faking evidence, telling people when you don't know all the answers.
yeah.
That's I would say that's the hidden burden of running your own team.
Yeah. Um, I do have another question about. I've asked this in the past. If you had location, would you like taking an animal with you, like your cat there, or a dog or something? Would that be a good idea to help out? Would that be a good tool?
I would be game to take my dog. Um, Not now. He's gearing up to cross over soon.
Yeah.
He had a stroke a few weeks back, and
Oh,
but I take him. My cat, heck no. He would be just. I would. I wouldn't be surprised to look over and see him drawing a pentacle to
yeah.
summon something.
Yeah.
Um, he's cute. He's loving, mildly demonic,
Yeah.
but he's a black cat. I mean, black cats, orange cats. It is what it is. They're
Yeah.
going to be cute and cuddly, and they're also going to be terrors.
Yeah. Um, we had a pet pig, which he done passed. He
Oh,
passed back in last part of June, 1st of July. Uh, I always want to take him, but I know what he would do. He'll just go pile up and sleep. he done. He
I
That's
mean,
all
it's
he done.
something.
But yeah, he was 11 years old, I think. And I always liked had have a pig, and we got one, and I never did get to take him out. He was gotten bigger than what I expected. You know.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone that I know that's got a pet pig, they're always like, "Yeah, I thought it was going to be this cute little small pot belly pig, and now it's 1,000 pounds."
Yeah, ours was a pot belly. He was true miniature pot belly, but he's got right up to 50 pounds, and I mean he was a chunk.
Bacon.
He was a chunk. Uh, that's where I named my studio Parapig Studios. So I named
I
it
like
after
that.
him. Tell us a little bit about demonology, if you don't mind. I don't know a whole lot about it, just the basic.
Clearly, one of my team members is watching because I just got a message that we are not going to take a pig to an investigation. And Colleen, I think now we're going to have to.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be an issue, but now it's needed. I love you. Anyway, what was the other question? Oh, demonology.
Yeah, give me a basic. I don't know a whole lot about demonology.
So the most common type that you'll see is very Judeo-Christian based,
Yeah,
or I should say Abrahamic based. Because even a dear friend of mine, Victoria J, she's a demonic folklorist. She has written a book categorizing uh, dark attachments, and uh, there are 5 different categories. And so, if it meets all 5 categories, it's demonic. If it meets X amount of categories, it could be like a jinn or an elemental or whatever.
yeah,
So, I kind of, when I went from being a Christian to a pagan, I expanded that a little bit. So for me, I look at it more of the study of the daemon, which
yeah.
comes from the Greek. And for them, you were either a human, a god, a demigod, or a daemon. So basically, everything that doesn't fall into one of those 3 categories is what I study,
Yeah.
which is your traditional angels and demons, um, which, if you talk to a demonologist, if you want to find out if they're like legit, ask them how they study angels as well.
Okay.
Because especially in the Abrahamic faiths, they're the same. Um, there's no difference between an angel and a demon as far as what they are.
Yeah.
What they do is different, but it's the same entity. Um, but beyond that, I have included it to do like the Fae, elementals,
Yeah.
um, basically as much as I can get my hands on. Uh, because especially living at the base of the Appalachian Mountains,
Yeah.
there's a lot around here that does not fit into one neat category or the other.
Mhm.
So you kind of have to be broad.
Okay. That's um. Let's see here. Uh, what if you had a investigation paid for you and you could travel anywhere in the world? Somebody said,
Oh,
your hotel's done paid for, your flight, your food. Where would you like to go in the world?
okay. Uh, for the people that know me, this is probably not going to be too shocking. And then even for your viewers that just look at me, it'll probably make sense too. I would kill to go to the Transylvanian mountains of Romania and investigate Vlad's castle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, for one, it looks fantastic. It's stunning.
Yeah.
And just all of the rich history and the lore.
Yeah.
Plus, just down the mountains, there's a lovely beach to go to. It is one of the most popular resort beaches, or it was. It's really close to Ukraine, so it's not really popular at the moment. But it was one of the most popular like beach destination resorts for Eastern Europe. So I could easily go and have my vampiric paranormal encounters, put on a lot of sunscreen because I mean you can clearly tell I'm very pale.
Yeah.
Um, and then go to the beach.
Okay.
I think that would be a fun little mini vacation.
Oh yeah. I've answered that question myself, and I want to go to the Hellfire Caves.
Ooh,
I want to go.
see, the first thing that popped into my head is kind of similar to the Hellfire Caves, but they
Yeah.
would have been the catacombs of Paris.
Yeah.
But then, you know,
Yeah.
castles and Dracula. But it's funny because I know a lot of people who would say answers here in America. And for one, I've been to most of the places that they would say. I somehow have not checked off Waverly Hills yet,
Yeah.
or Trans Allegheny. but I know a lot of people would say the Conjuring House, and it was okay. It was fun.
Yeah.
Um, just as active as anywhere else. Um, but Europe Europe and Asia has so much more culture and history because they have a longer recorded history.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have that here in North America, but we kind of destroyed that when we discovered the lands.
Yeah.
So we can't really embrace it because we destroyed it. However, when you go over to Europe, we've got a lot of those really old, I mean, stuff from the turn of the millennia, uh,
Yeah.
just, and it's still in really good shape.
Vicky, Abyss Paranormal, wants me to play the screen for you, get your opinion on it.
Okay.
You remember I told you earlier about the bridge?
Yes. Yes, you did.
This is the screen. I got my big loud speaker right here. I'll play it as soon as I get it found right here. Uh, give you a little heads up. I was talking to the chat, and the first one, we was on the bridge. Me and my dad was on the bridge, and the second one, I was standing at the front of my truck. I was getting ready to tell everybody goodbye on the chat. You know, I was getting ready to end the live,
Mm-hmm.
and the screen come on, and I mean it's loud. And when the first time we was on the bridge, it was behind us. And how did he move, or it, or whatever it was, move with no flashlight? Because I don't know if it was a human
Mm-hmm.
walking through the woods with no light. Now, if it was a human, now you're gonna be hearing somebody cussing and slapping into
Something.
tree limbs breaking and stuff like that. They're gonna be fussing and cussing or something. And how did he get over that on the back side of us on the other side of the road, on where my truck was at, on the mountain, and still had the same exact high pitched sound and not gave out a breath? Is
Ooh.
beyond me. So the first one, I mean the second one at the truck is this one right here. Uh, it is. I don't know. Everybody. Some people says it was a banshee. Some people said it was a Wendigo, and some people said it was a fox. Uh, some kind of wildcat or whatever. But I've listened to all this stuff, and I ain't found anything that will sound exactly like this. I'm still hunting it right here. All right, here we go. Let's see. Where's that? All right, here we are. Now this is the second one. You'll hear me talking. I'm reading the chat. Wish you knew. Can you hear that? 18 bodies were buried.
Yep.
Yes, me too. I was told that along the creek bank going up towards Peggy's house, there is like a little flat area right beside the creek. I'm thinking about that possibility where all that was showed at, and I I still to this day I don't think that there's all of the bodies been found. I swear, I just something tells me that I don't think all of them been gone. That's what I was wondering, if they were an old cemetery there and they moved it and they especially roadside. Yeah, I think. See, there is a cemetery up the road up here. It's a family plot, and till this day, I do not know what that is.
That is really cool. And it even took this little guy who was asleep in my lap, and he popped his head up when it happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's got to be something with it. I mean, it does sound, I'll say, animalistic. That being said, I don't hunt. I don't camp. I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like any animal that I'm personally familiar with.
Yeah.
But that being said, knowing the area that it happened in, who knows? I mean, these mountains are older than the rings of Jupiter,
Yeah.
Saturn, or whichever one has the rings. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, man, it still puzzles me today. I'll still go back, and this has been first of the year or a little bit longer than that, and I still go back and play these days and trying to find out, Google it, find out what kind of sounds that will equal up to it.
Because I mean, I'm trying to think. Actually, um, Cher Lambeth from the Charlotte Area Paranormal Society. She does a lot with cryptids.
Yeah.
It might be a worthwhile endeavor to send that audio clip to her.
Yeah.
And I can drop you her name uh, somewhere later.
Let's see. Vicky says she would like to go to the. Have you been to the Bell Witch Cave?
I have not. I would personally love to go to the Bell Witch Cave, um, mainly because I also really enjoy dispelling the myths of the evil witches, which, as a witch, we have some bad players out there,
Yeah.
just like there are bad Christians out there, and bad Muslims, and bad Jews, and bad Hindus,
Yeah.
I guess. Uh, Maybe less so on the Hindus, but you know,
Yeah.
uh, we have within our country a very complicated past when it comes to witches, um, predominantly with how we kind of enjoyed killing them back in the late 1600s.
Yeah.
Um, and especially clearly Salem, which I've been to many, many times. But we didn't just have witch trials in Salem, we executed women
Yeah.
all over the country. I do specify that we executed women, not so much we executed witches, because we just used that as a crutch to silence strong-willed women and call them a witch. But take that for what it is.
Yeah.
But that being said, I would love to go. By all accounts, it's a very active place, and even if it is a malevolent witch, I would be 100% down to at least encounter the spirit that's there and maybe get to know the significance of their story a little bit better.
Yeah. That's cool. Uh, let's see. Want to listen to it again? All right, let me get it back up here. From wish you knew where the 18 bodies were buried. Yes, me too. I was told that along the creek bank going up towards Peggy's house, there is like a little flat area right beside the creek. I'm thinking about that possibility where all that was showed at, and I still till this day I don't think that there's all of the bodies been found. I swear, I just something tells me that I don't think all of them's been gone. That's
what I was wondering if they were
I
an
read
old
like
cemetery
somebody
there,
just missing in the head.
and they moved it, and they especially roadside. Yeah, I think. See, there is a cemetery up the road up here. It's a family plot, and
I just can't figure that one out. That was like the one I was telling you about earlier about the gust of wind about knocked me over. I can't figure
Mm-hmm.
that one out. Uh, let's see. Vicky said that video, I mean that scream right there happened around about 11:30 p.m. that night at the bridge.
I also see another fun comment. The Bell Witch scared away Andrew Jackson. I have a uh, personal gnosis that anything that would have scared away Andrew Jackson, A-OK in my book.
Says not an animal. I don't know if it's an animal or not, but I mean I've listened to every kind of animal sounds from all the way to exotic birds to foxes and the cougars and the minks and all kinds of big wildcats in the mountains and stuff like that. So it's a good find, but it. I'll be honest with you, it did startle me. The first time it happened, it did startle me. Second time, it just scared every living daylights out of them because it was right there beside of me. I didn't know if it's done going to attack me or what. You know, it's crazy.
And, you know, it really gets, in my opinion, to a lot of the unique experiences that we as investigators will have on all of the different investigations we go on, because um, when it comes to the scream you experienced, you'll never really be able to replicate that.
Yeah,
Last night we were hosting a public ghost hunt uh, at the Trivet Clinic, and I had a very interesting experience. There was a guest we had, and he was doing the Estes method, and there was actually a. So it started with me and him, and then I went downstairs to talk to some of the other people there.
yeah,
And he said that he could hear me asking him questions the entire time. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know if the headphones were really working because, I could hear you asking questions. You would talk for about maybe 20 seconds, and then you would give me 30 or so seconds, and you kept getting more and more forceful as it went on." And I was like, "I was only up here for a minute, and you were under the Essos method for probably 10."
yeah.
So, and I was in a different room entirely when I was up there with him. I mean, he was in David's room, which is where the wardrobe is, and I was just sitting out in the hallway. So even if I was talking and asking him questions the whole time, he shouldn't have been able to hear me.
Yeah.
But then the fact that I was on the first floor and he was having me ask him questions through the Essos method on the second floor, that's really cool. I can't say how that is possible. I can't really replicate it. Um, However, it's a fantastic example.
Yeah. Vicky, you just had to bring it up, didn't you, Vicky? The noise after you heard that scream is me jumping in the truck. I,
Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm not going to lie to you. If I heard that in the woods, I'd do the same thing. I deal with ghosts and spirits and sprites and phantoms and demons, and I don't deal with anything that makes a noise like that. Um, I think cryptids are cool. I
yes.
think Bigfoot exists. I think it's cool. I'd love to see evidence
Yeah.
on like a screen.
Yeah.
You won't catch me out in the woods. Uh, I think aliens are cool. If one came down and they wanted to talk,
Yeah.
they could be with me.
Yeah.
I can promise you, it ain't gonna be with me.
Yeah. That's like, since you mentioned cryptids, I was getting ready to ask you something about the cryptids. Vicky and them her and Mr. Fedora. He's another paranormal group in Pennsylvania that I talk to a lot. I've actually got to investigate with him on the battleship because he drove
Ooh.
16 hours, come down and investigate with us on the battleship. And they got the idea they was going to try to do these different cryptids. Then they come up with one with the black eyed children.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Black Eyed Children. I don't know like anything about, but I mean I know about them, but I love that case.
Vic and them they just eating this up because every time if you see me looking to my side like that, I'm looking out the window making sure there ain't one standing there because if it does, he ain't gonna be standing there long.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came up with another one what they call the water babies. It's happened to do with Native Americans throwing their kids in the water. Ones that drowned was the weaklings, and one that's stay alive and come back swimming or something or that effect is the Braves. And now she got me
Heard
where
that,
I ain't going
but
swimming.
but
Thanks.
because I haven't heard about it doesn't mean it's not real,
Yeah.
or maybe not real is not the right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. She sent me some messages about the water babies and they freaked me out. I ain't getting in no water swimming or nothing now. She done ruined that for me. But like I said though, it's when we was over there in the woods, we don't know exactly what we'd be running up on because there's got a lot of rich history over there. There could be some knucklehead running around in the woods screaming and hollering and start with too.
You never know.
So,
And especially in this area, people like to hunt.
yeah.
And I don't want to go out catching a stray bullet out in the woods.
Think too.
Like that's not my intended way.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because of recent events,
Yeah.
but just say yeah, nope, not.
Is anybody in the chat that has any questions for our guest tonight? Please be respectful and everything like that. Okay, so because I do want him to come back again in the future if he wants.
Well, and I can definitely come back when we get closer to the Trivia Clinic Parafest.
Okay, yeah.
Because we do have a date for that for 2026.
Okay. Tell us some of the events that you've been doing and most recently that you get ready to come up on and stuff.
Okay. So rounding out this year, the only thing we have left as far as ghost hunt type things is the National Ghost Hunting Day celebration at the Trivia Clinic at the end of September.
Okay.
So I've gone out of my way to kind of structure it so that we have family-friendly type options. Not to say that the paranormal is not family-friendly. It's just typically doing it at night with the lights off. It's not insurance-friendly if I have minors.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to keep my insurance, and I don't want to have anyone get hurt. So we've got two options that are kind of smaller throughout the day. Lights are going to be on. I mean, it's daylight, so even if the lights were off at the Trivia Clinic, it's got windows in every room. It's not like it's going to be hard to see.
Yeah.
And we're going to have the grill going. We're going to working on scheduling some programming as far as like meet and greets and some talks and whatnot, so people can still come and engage even if they can't necessarily do the ghost hunt portion.
Yeah.
And then we are doing a presentation at the Davidson County Library on the 24th, something like that. And that's basically just, we're going to show up. It's a free event, and if you have any questions about the paranormal, we're there to answer it, and we are going to tell everyone just a little bit about what we do as far as working within the paranormal realm. We've got some witches bazaars that we're going to, which are just really fun. You've probably seen the videos, or maybe your guests have, of some of the people dressed up as like witches and doing these dances going down the street.
Yeah.
If I'm sober, I'm not going to be participating in the dancing.
Yeah.
If I've had a libation or two, maybe. Or if I'm peer pressured enough, I probably give in.
Yeah.
And then we also have the Spirited Ball at Kerner's Folly. And that's going to be really fun. They have a whole Halloween celebration going on, and our portion of the night is we're going to be there, and we're going to be presenting on the Victorian spiritualist movement. Part of my past is I've worked for a Victorian house museum. My master's in historical education, and I focused on the Victorian age itself.
Yeah.
So essentially, almost everything we do for the paranormal today comes from the Victorian spiritualist movement.
Yeah.
Good and bad. And we're going to really just talk about that and break it down. And also I'm going to throw in all kinds of fun little customs and traditions, like the reinvention of unlucky number 13.
Yeah.
It came from the Victorian time, from the Last Supper, because when the 13 of them dined together, the first one that rose, Judas Iscariot, was the first of the 13 to die.
Yeah.
Or covering a clock at the moment of someone's death, because every second that ticks by after someone dies, another person's going to die.
Yeah.
Covering mirrors, and vampires being able to see themselves in mirrors today versus they couldn't back then, because back then mirrors were backed with silver, which is a protective metal, whereas nowadays they're not. Just, I could go on for hours talking about Victorian.
I like the Victorian era too. That's one of my favorite time frames and stuff like that. We did do a thing about Victorian funerals, how they did things, and you mentioned the reason why they wore black clothes and stuff like that, covering the mirrors, and when they take the person out of the house or something, feet first, and that didn't want to look at the people in the eyes when they walk by, stuff like that, and
just so much cool shit.
Yeah,
and not even with Halloween.
Yeah,
Christmas, the Christmas celebration we have today, almost everything came from the Victorians.
Yeah.
From the trees to exchanging presents and feast, like having sweets and stuff.
Yeah.
Roasting a meat. Back then it was goose, now it's more so turkey or ham, but it's one of my favorite time periods in history. I would not live in that time period, just to be clear. I like air conditioning and pasteurization. Penicillin's kind of great. Mental health care. I like not being lobotomized. Much better today.
Yeah. Vicky, she's telling a little bit about the water babies. Let's see, in Nevada, a tribe would throw their sicklings and weaklings babies. Only the strong will only want strong in their tribes. That's right. Babies cry and draw you under.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There have been times where I've been like, man, I wouldn't mind throwing some kids in the lake. Um, you know, like
Yeah.
you're boarding the plane and there's that one screaming kid, and or you're at a restaurant and they just won't stop. Yeah.
Let's see here. Does anybody have any questions? Because I've done ran out, and let's see. Yeah. Oh, I got one more for you too. If your advice to anybody that wants to start a paranormal group or get into the paranormal group, what would be good advice you can tell them?
Oh, okay. This can get tricky. So, if you're going to start a group, do your due diligence. Do it the right way. Um, if you're going to do more than just we're a collection of friends who want to go do stuff together on the weekends, that's one thing. If you're going to take on cases, if you're going to host events, at least form an LLC, get insurance, um, get contracts. It's expensive. It seems like a headache. It seems like a hassle, but you've got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to protect your family. Um, before you go out on an investigation with the team or whatever for the first time, spiritual protection is something you need to understand. Um, how to keep yourself grounded, how to keep yourself safe. Is there someone that you can go to if there is an attachment? Uh, it's all stuff that you don't think about. You think, oh, I just want to go and I just want to go have fun,
Yeah.
and there's time and place. But if you're going to do it, you have to do it right. You have to do it correct. Also, if you start your own team, do not trespass and break into places. I don't know how much I can stress that. It's illegal. It's dangerous. You could literally die,
Yeah.
or you could go to jail, and you would give those in the paranormal that are doing their due diligence a bad name.
Yeah.
Um, also, and this is something I recently started doing for all of my team members, but background checks are not that expensive. I think I pay $25, $30 per person for a background check. Um, you don't want to take someone into someone's private home and then find out that they're not supposed to be allowed within 100 feet of a school.
Yeah.
Or you don't want someone who has a history of violent crime. Not saying that like people can have a criminal history and they can be reformed.
Yeah.
Like if you were arrested for shoplifting 25, 30 years ago, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You were, arrested for domestic assault. It's probably going to be disqualifying for me.
Yeah.
And then if you are just looking to join the team, the best way, honestly, if you've got a lot to offer. So, like if I were to dissolve Great State Paranormal and I were to pursue joining the Charlotte Area Paranormal Society, that one just comes to mind because Tina is sending me some messages. Tina being the one who founded and leads C.O.P.S. I would reach out and say, hey, this would be redundant because she knows me, but hey, I've got this many years of experience. I've done this. I've been a speaker here. I'm a trained exorcist. I'm a demonologist. Like, here's basically my CV. If you don't have experience and you want to get started, get experience.
Yeah.
Odds are the team you're looking to join, they probably host public events. Or over almost every major location, you have to have 10 people to go. And even though I've got more than 10 people on my team, I never have 10 people to go.
Yeah.
So you could reach out and say, hey, if you guys ever go to a location and you need someone else to tack on, I have always wanted to do it, or I've got maybe some equipment and some experience. I've been to this place or this place. Let me know. And you're probably not going to hear back.
Yeah.
Point blank, we get a lot of people reaching out to us. And unfortunately, stuff gets missed.
Yeah.
The main thing that we look out for when we get our messages are people that need help. So, and even if you get ghosted by someone, by a team or a group, you can reach out again. Most groups have an annual time where they add members. So, for me, I always usually add somewhere between December and March. So if someone reaches out in July, I might tell them, hey, I'm not adding at the moment because I'm trying to get people trained. However, be on the lookout. At the end of the year, I'll probably have applications go up then.
Okay.
And just be polite and respectful.
Yeah.
You would be surprised at how far that can get you.
Yeah. You're right. We got a question here for you, Bo. Timmy says, what scares you the most?
I'll take this in the two directions. One, I'll do the scariest experience I've had. And then two, it would be probably the most concerning thing for me on an investigation. So the scariest encounter I had was during an exorcism I was performing. I always do a lot of due diligence. If you are a group that's worked with me on a private case, I document everything. It's very detailed. So we leave no stone unturned. And especially if there's a potential for an exorcism. So with this particular case, I went in and we did just kind of a basic cleansing, like using some sage and those basic rituals that you would use at most any person's given home.
Yeah.
Well, the bundle of sage wouldn't stay lit, which is a little bit unusual. And so at the end of it, I was like, yeah, I don't think that what is attached to you, I don't think we were able to get rid of it that easy or that quick. So we're going to schedule another time to come back and blah, blah, blah. And then the bundle of sage erupted into flames in my hand. In hindsight, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of scary in the moment, but these are the kind of things that I put myself out there to do. I am a trained exorcist. I know what I'm getting into in some of these cases. I know that eventually it's going to be some scary, freaky stuff.
Yeah.
And then as far as what concerns me or scares me the most about just going on to a general investigation, it would be my team. I'm very protective of my team members. And I mean, I've had people in the past get affected. I've had people throw up blood. I've had people get hurt. And to me, I'm over watching over these people to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And that's a big burden for me. And I've got people on my team now, people that have sugar issues, people that have heart issues. Who among us don't have some type of mental health disease, diagnosed or undiagnosed?
Yeah.
So, someone could have a panic attack. I'm pretty sure I've got someone that's allergic to bees. Like, what happens if they get stung and we're 2 hours away from civilization, which is not that hard to do in some places we go. So just keeping my team safe, that's probably the biggest concern to me and panic for me. And that's just the terrain, the spirits, um, and then obviously doing research and due diligence on clients and that kind of thing to make sure that we're not putting someone in a potentially dangerous situation.
Okay. All right. That leads me to another question, but I just went brain dead. Uh, I don't know now what it was. It was a good question, but I just can't remember now what it saved my life.
Was it more to do with the exorcism side or keeping the team members safe side?
Oh, I don't know what it is. Is there any place that you've been to that you don't care to ever go back to? Like it's something over there, or do you don't see? Or well, let me rewrote it. Any place
Um,
that you've been to that you
that I
don't.
will not go back to. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any location off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I've been to some places that has some kind of dark energy, but
yeah,
I'd go back in a heartbeat.
yeah,
Um, like there's nothing that's darker than the demonic.
yeah,
Um, and I'll willingly walk into those cases. Well, maybe not willingly, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah,
Um, there are places that I probably would not take my team, or at least my newer team members, or
yeah,
those who are not as up on their like spiritual protection practices or something like that. Um, admittedly, I can't really think of any of those off the top of my head right now, but
yeah,
I'm sure that if something popped up, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I can go, but I won't take these few people.
yeah,
So, but as far as me, I hate to say I'm fearless because I am not fearless. I promise you.
yeah.
Um, but I will go into almost any situation.
Okay. Okay. So if I was to have something like that, I can give you a call and you can come out and help us out with something
Yep,
dark like that. Uh,
I have. Um, I have helped several teams out uh, on private cases just like that.
yeah,
Um, hopefully, it would be nearby and not in Virginia.
yeah,
I don't know what it is. Almost every person that's reached out to me this year has been in Virginia, which is fine. I love Virginia.
yeah.
Um, does everyone have to be 4 hours away from me? Uh, I did just get a message to help out with a private case in the Charlotte area,
Yeah,
like during this interview. So I don't know when yet because clearly I can't work that out while doing this. But so I'm going to go help out with that one.
okay.
Um, and then even beyond just me showing up physically, I'll consult on anything.
Yeah,
Like, you know, if you want to, if you have a case and you want me to look over some evidence or you got something concerning, I'll look it over. We'll hop on a Zoom call or something. And, you know, as long as I've got the time,
yeah,
uh, I'm a tax consultant throughout the year. So, admittedly, between like mid November and the end of April, I love y'all, but you're not going to get me. I think I typically put in about 100 hours a week in tax season.
Good Lord.
Like it's great because like 4 months of work pays a year's worth of bills for me,
Yeah,
but I work myself to the bone. Um, however, that being said, after April, yeah, I'm usually good. I've got little other side projects I do throughout the year, but I will gladly help. Um, and someone could be from another country, someone could be from another state.
Yeah.
I won't show up for free if you're far away. Um, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm this Paris celebrity. You need to pay me thousands. But
Yeah.
hey, fly me out and give me a place to stay.
Yeah.
I don't nickel and dime people. Um, so yeah, I'm always open to help.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim, for coming in. Appreciate you so much. You have a good night. Uh, yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I've learned there's another group here in the town above me, but I ain't never been able to track them down or find anything else about them. I don't really know their names, and I,
What town is it?
it's in the town of Mount Airy. But there's
In
supposed to
Mount
be
Airy?
yeah, there's another paranormal group, but I ain't never run across them. Ain't never. I've seen them online one time when I checked to find paranormal near me and stuff, and they popped up, but I ain't never been able to find them since then.
I'm not familiar with the group out of Mount Airy.
I think it's just like a man and a girl. I think like him, his girlfriend, or him, his wife, or something. They don't do it a whole lot or something. I don't know. I hadn't really run up on anybody else doing it.
And it could also be something where they did it and then the pandemic hit
Yeah.
and now they don't. I know a lot of groups, the pandemic was a big fluctuation point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, it a lot of the world changed in that time, and
Yes.
good, bad, or indifferent. Uh, and I'll leave that up to the viewers to decide. Um, but that would be my guess on it's probably something that happened during the pandemic.
Yeah. Um. Well, if anybody else ain't got any things, we're gonna try to close her out. And after we get done with the live, if you want to stay on for like 5 more minutes, I want to talk to you for a few more minutes, and
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
we'll get out. So has anybody got any more questions before we close it out?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
And so yeah, I like I told you earlier, I would like to take you over to the bridge and get you uh, see what you feel, what you have come to you, get your opinion on some things and stuff like that. Uh, Hopefully, what you encounter be the same thing that we had when we was there.
Hopefully,
Uh,
except for the scream. I'm good not to hear that in person.
I won't tell you what it
Because
made
I'll
it.
probably beat you to the cars if we hear that in person.
I'm gonna tell you what now. I till this day I don't know how in the world they got from behind us, then made it cross through the woods without killing themselves, going across a gravel road, then climbing a mountain and hollered the same high pitched sound and not gave out a breath. That dude is well fit if it's a human.
Yeah, that would. Nope.
So let's see here. We got somebody here I don't recognize.
Oh, let me more. She runs the local metaphysical shop that I read tarot at.
Okay. Oh yeah, tell us a little bit about your tarot reading and stuff. I was going to ask you about that.
All right. Well, it's fun for me sometimes. Um, just like any other form of divination, sometimes you get answers that are uncomfortable to give, but you got to give it. And Yeah. So through reading cards, I will go through and it's usually about a 30-45 minute session, give or take.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Sean, how you doing, buddy?
it's also kind of a form of therapy and self-reflection too. Because sometimes you just need someone to tell you what you need to hear.
Yeah.
Um, but then on top of that, at my local metaphysical shop, typically on Wednesdays, so I will read tarot and oracle cards. I will also do aura cleansings. I will do candle dressings for spell candles. I will consult on any other like custom spell work that you may need. So with the aura cleansings, it's part of me practicing as a living vampire or an energetic or psychic vampire. The short version is I can tap into your aura that surrounds you, your energy that you kind of that all living beings exude. And if there are parts that don't belong to you, little hitchhikers, if you will,
Yeah.
um, I can kind of like feed that off of you and kind of help cleanse that away. Um, that can be a lot because if I do that, like let's say you're going through a lot of anxiety, if I'm feeding something like that off of you, then I'm now going through the same experience.
Yeah.
That also works with body pain, which I found out the not so fun way because I was doing that for a lady and she apparently had a knee issue.
Yeah.
And so as I connected to uh, her aura, my knee buckles, and I'm like, the heck is this? What's going on with your knee? She's like, how do you know? Because I can feel it. Um, and then I practice a lot of candle magic. So it could be, I need a candle to help me with peace and tranquility in my home, protection, uh, working within, like building up my psychic awareness. One of my favorite ones is I just got a new cat and I need help incorporating the new cat into the home. There's a candle spell for helping incorporate a new cat into the home,
Cool.
which, if anyone has a cat and they've incorporated a new one,
Yeah.
they still have to do the customary 918 hisses. You can't get past the hisses.
Yeah.
Um, and at least one or two smacks on the head. But it will definitely help integrate them a lot better.
Yeah.
So, um, and then as far as the other custom spells, just whatever someone might need help with,
Yeah.
finding a new job, selling a home, uh, communication with a loved one, rekindling a flame that might be going out, uh, you name it.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, we got one cat here that I picked up from my dad's house. Every cat we get, I turn it loose, and it'll take off down through the woods. Don't see it for 2 days, and it'll come back. And now we got like 7 cats.
Yeah, I love cats. And it's funny because so clearly you've seen Apollo, my black cat. There's another black cat that lives around my house. Looks exactly like him, except Apollo has a little bit of a white mark on his chest. The
Yeah.
other one does not. Um, Apollo hates that cat because a friend of mine was watching him for the weekend while I was off doing something ghosty, probably.
Yeah.
And she thought that she had let Apollo out and she was trying to get him back in. And so for Apollo, he's just sitting there watching as she's trying to grab another cat to force it into the house.
Yeah.
And so he was like, what is this? And he didn't, I mean, he hated her for like a month. And he finally warmed back up to her. And now he'll go and he'll love on her. But yeah, I thought that was just, and I'm not going to lie. There have been times I've seen the other cat out and I've been like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Um,
I want I want to tell you a story. I went to work one morning. We got 4 cats outside. They all look alike. They their dad is a bobcat, a wild bobcat,
Ooh.
and their mama is just a regular old stray house cat. And I supposed to went and pick up one, but I didn't want to break up the set, so I got all 4 of them because they were sisters. And I felt bad for them. I didn't know if it made them feel lonely or something. I just went and got them all 4. And it was like a week to about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or something like that. I was doing my live show going towards work, and I stopped at Sheets to get me something to eat
Mm-hmm.
for breakfast that morning. And I went in there and I stayed in there, and I thought they went there going to get my food. So I come back out after I got my food finally, got in the truck, and I happened to look, and there's a cat. Looks identical to mine. Looked like that bobcat and everything. I started panicking. I started stressing out. And I thought, oh God, one of the cats done crawled underneath my truck and done followed me all the way here to Yadkinville. And
Yeah.
and I wished I could see myself on them cameras in there chasing that cat around the parking lot out there at Sheets, trying to catch that fool.
I would have done the same.
Then my wife, she got home. I called her and just panicking. I thought, we got 3 cats now outside because one of them's over here in Yadkinville running around like a chicken with her head cut off. And I can't catch it. And she came home,
And
and
all
then
4
she
were
called
just
me.
right there.
All 4 of them was right here on the front porch. And I thought, thank you, Lord. I didn't know that I done hauled one of our cats off by accident.
Oh,
But I was chasing that cat all around in that parking lot. I bet them people out there think I was a little off.
I went and got it a hot dog.
I fed it a tater tot that I got, and it still would never come to me.
Ooh. Yeah, that would get me. Tater tot. Um, I'll just throw this one out there for anyone that might be single. Any like preferably fried versions of a potato. I'm fine with French fries, tater tots, hash browns. Yes. You don't get a name like Crowley by not being slightly Irish. So
But yeah, that was so funny. I thought them people were probably laughing, sitting there just giggling. So look at that nut out there trying to chase that cat all over the parking lot. And that was crazy. That was so funny. But is anybody has any questions for our guest before we get off? Because I'm getting ready to shut her down. All righty. Well, everybody, thank y'all so much for coming in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for the ones that did ask questions, and appreciate each and every one of you. Next week we do have another guest, but I still ain't found my paper yet, so I have to wait and see who it is. If you want to be a guest on the C.O.P.S show, all you got to do is email me at this email address, and we will get it booked. So, hey, Lisa, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Native Wild Man gave us $2.
nice.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so, so much. Lisa, she is from Australia.
Very cool.
Jason Ghost Hunter, he was in here earlier. He's also from Sydney, Australia.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Native Wild Man Sean, he is from Kansas. Vicky and them is from Missouri. Shaw Woman was from Missouri. May's from Texas. Awesome May. And several other people. I can't remember off the top of my head where everybody's at, but next year at about this time we will be going to the UK. Me, my cousin, and my wife. We will be doing several investigations with the Spirit Brothers UK while we're there. We will be hanging out with them and his family for 9 days. So I'll be 9 days over in the UK.
That's going to be awesome.
And we're also going to try to go to the Hellfire Cage.
Oh, you should do whatever you need to do that, because that would be so cool.
And me and my cousin is planning on walking through the Stonehenge barefooted. That's what she wants to do, walk through Stonehenge barefooted.
I would kill to do that. Although I don't think you can actually get to Stonehenge anymore. However, there's so many other similar structures just all over the British Isles.
Yeah.
And you can do those easy because they're not as famous.
Yeah.
But Stonehenge itself, just because it is the biggest one, would be so cool.
Yeah. All right, everybody. It is 12:30 on a Monday for you. Good Lord. Now, if you want to talk about living the future, Lisa's living the future. It's already Monday for her.
Yeah, hopefully Monday's a good day. It remains to be seen for us.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. It is 10:30, 10:32, and I appreciate everybody coming in and everything. So, and I do appreciate you, Dustin, for coming on and hanging out with us and talking paranormal. I do love talking about paranormal all the time.
Absolutely. And it was a pleasure, Jonathan. Thank you so much for having me. And I want to thank the chat. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you for engaging and spending the last hour and a half with us as well. And one thing I always like to say when I sign off of anything is, may the God and goddesses bless you the way that you have been a blessing to others.
That's right. So, everybody, y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. Thank y'all so much. And I will be on, let's see, I'm not sure when I'll be live again because I don't work Monday and Tuesday, but probably Wednesday morning as I'm driving to work, I will be going live again. So everybody, thank y'all so much. Appreciate each and every one of you, and God bless.